Hello, I'm going to mark her in this girl. I made a drawing previously and my video titled how to draw a figure from a photograph. So I'm going to color this in. So I've traced it from my rough sketch, which was this one here. So I've traced it, shortening her neck, right? And I traced it in a brush pen. That is, looks like this. It is Faber-Castell brush pit artist pen, cold gray, such and such, and it has soft brush tip. I have a line work. I also used thinner pencil, Pigma pen Micron 01 to trace her head because her features are smaller and daintier. So I use finer tip for the face, and so those are two pens I used to trace her. The interesting and important thing is to keep track of your lines. So sometimes line gets heavier like this, and sometimes line gets lighter like this. Things that are farther away from you should be lighter. Things that are closer to you should be heavier. So try having that variety of line in your drawing. It will help it. So I have my Loyal skin color, which is buff. AD, very smelly. I'm going to color in her head. Getting a shadow here. So again, just a few strokes, quick strokes. I'm leaving a little bit of a blaze. I'll see later if I use it or not. I mean, just part of it. It's okay if there is like a one or two light spots on the face, leave it. And then there is no other skin showing, so this is it. Then I'm going to, I have Prismacolor markers here, so I'm going to use Mocha Light. Let's see if that is going to afford us any interesting color. So Mocha Light. It looks a little grayish. I need a little warmer tone for the camel. So I'm going to layer this. I'm going to start with it, and she's pretty much the same color all throughout. So I'm going to layer one solid color on the bottom and see what happens. So there's a turtleneck. I have this habit of coloring each enclosed piece separately, like, and leaving a little bit of white on the edge, just to, it might get abstracted later, or you might leave it white, but it helps understand the shapes, especially if colors get dark. So I'm just layering it really quickly. I think there was like a little spot there. It's okay if it's not super accurate. I'm just trying to layer. The speed of it is important because the paper is absorbent, so the more you linger, the more uneven saturation will result from that. So trying to overlap as little as possible. I wish this wasn't on now. Let's see. I could use a few highlights on the boots because I think they're patent leather over there. So you would need a few white spots here and there. This will be drying for a while. So this is not like the final color. Let's see, the next layer I'm going to try is called sand. So the sand is a little warmer, so if I layer this over, this brings me closer to my desired outcome. So I think I'm going to do another quick layer of the sand business. Also, I'm trying to go as fast as possible. Again, to keep it as even as possible. While this is drying, I'm gonna go back to the face and with the color called, what is this called? Cinnamon Toast. I'm going to shade her face a little bit. So here's her face. Shadow, bridge of her nose, shadow under the nose, shadow under the lip, shadow under the chin, shadow on the left, shadow on the right. This is shadows under brows and accent the cheeks. That's that. And we could pick a color for her lips depending on how bright you want it. I have here something called cherry. So I'm going to dab her lips really quick. I'm leaving like a little spot here as a highlight. That's it. Then I have this terracotta color, Sanguine, Durer Faber-Castell German pencil, Sanguine. So it's not sharp and very pointy, but I don't care. So I'm going to dust her face lightly. Try not to make too many lines. What you could do, you could also create volume by making very faint circles that will pop her cheeks and her chin, and maybe even make it a little brighter towards the edges. So that's for the makeup. For the hair, I have here brown markers. Brown, this one is light umber, 70%. Looks like this in comparison. I'm going to hit her hair. Once. I'm going to start shading with that same pencil because I think it's gonna go, it could help me shade her outfit a little bit. So there's a shadow under here, there is a shadow under there and under there, and there's a shadow that keeps dropping here, a thinner one under that lapel. And then there's in between the folds, into the folds under the pockets, the bottom of the bag, lid, side. I'm going to start shading those boots also. Making random movements that I think might mimic the the creases on the boots. So that's one level of shading. Then I'm going to shade her hair a little bit so that at least there's two values to the hair. So darker. You could get into small spaces and make it still a little darker. With a darker brown. One advantage of doing really fast and really bleedy markers is that it begins to look like a watercolor a little bit because it's bleedy, and it starts having little areas like this here, where the paint starts bleeding ink. On the other hand, there are spots like this which are happening. It's not ideal, and probably chisel marker would solve that better because it won't have this pressure of a brush that bleeds into the paper. So this is that. Now what can you do? What else can you do? You could shade it more with a darker. This is light umber. How about cool gray 90? You want a warm gray? Darker warm gray. Yeah. I don't think I have that. What is the 70% light umber? It's not that. I have French gray, 50%. How about this? Go over. To do this crocodile, I'm gonna start by making stripes. So you make like a faint stripes with the pencil. This is Prismacolor dark brown. So what I do those faint stripes. Of course, I'm doing it very quickly, and if you really into the textures and you want to make it look really neat, it might take a little longer, a little neater, but sometimes less is more. And to see how the stripe goes in this direction, and here also across, and on the instep this way. So each, and then little cells of it are more random, so it's not just a crisscross, like straightforward crisscross pattern. It's more like little circles, squared off circles, or rounded off squares, however you want. So you make little shapes like that. Some darker, some fainter. And I think that kind of gives you the idea of the desired texture of the crocodile. No? That's step one for the crocodile. There will be step two. The lines are not exactly straight, so sometimes they condense, sometimes they spread out. So that's a start, and then you could take a white This is Uniball Mitsubishi pencil, and then hit each cell a tiny little bit like this. It also doesn't have to be very regular, just here and there, following the highlight. So that will give you an impression. Of course, you could continue, you could make those cells much more elaborate and use different pencils, but for a quick impression of a texture, this would be my solution. All right, see you later.